Over 119 years of continuous burning, New Straitsville mine has continued to burn, which has kept the village of New Straitsville known to many around Ohio. A fire that was once started only by mine workers as a rebellious act against the New Straitsville Mine Company over low wages was a turning point for coal miners and coal workers across the United States.
Mining wages in New Straitsville were much like other coal mining towns in the area of the little cities of black diamonds. These areas often appeared by magic and were scattered everywhere around Ohio. Immigrants coming into the mines were paid very low wages because they had very little rights.
Safety and procedures were a big issue when it came to the New Straitsville mine. Anytime workers were injured or killed, the family would often try and sue the company. Unfortunately, the mine companies would find ways to blame the incident on someone else. If the families were lucky enough to recover anything, it was about a half a year's pay per year. Anytime safety and profit were brought into the same picture, safety was most often overlooked for the chance to make a profit.
Going to New Straitsville, we met with a gentleman. When talking to him, I asked him if he knew anything about the mine. The gentleman replied he didn't know anything about the mine, and he didn't want to know anything about the mine because his family was raised there. The home life of a coal miner is often very depressing, he said. He didn't want to talk about the mine because it brought back bad memories to his mind. Back during the mining times, coal miner homes were owned by the company, so if they quit, they were out of a home completely. There was no reward for working in the mines. You worked there until you retired if you were lucky to even make it that far.
The mine fire was started in 1884 and still burns today. Today, nearly 200 square miles of underground mine trails have been burned. Back in 1930, the U.S. government gave New Straitsville $365,000 in a federal grant designated to put the mine fire out. After heading down into the mine fire and seeing how big the fire was and how hard it would be to get it out, they canceled the grant and decided to let the fire burn.
Upon visiting New Straitsville, we didn't expect to get that much out of it and thought we weren't going to be able to find much information based on the town. The culture there was very typical of a rundown old mining village.
At New Straitsville, we visited Robertson's Cave, which was the old main entrance to the mine. It was now a cave because the entrance to the mine collapsed. The mine used to be a sight that the coal miner dreaded to see every morning to risk their lives so they could provide for their families. It was a terrible time for these men and their families, and the history of this amazing historical site will never be forgotten.